Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the BMW XM, which is BMW's flagship car. It is the most expensive BMW car you can buy because it costs a lot more than the BMW 7 Series, because the price of this car is rupees 3.08 crores on road Mumbai. But the BMW 7 Series protection is more expensive, but that is a very limited edition car for different requirements. So we are not going to include that right now. The similar familiar BMW key, which has the M colors here. This is to lock the car, this is to unlock the car, this is to open the boot of the vehicle, and I think this is to maybe turn on the siren. Now when you have the key in the pocket and you approach the car will automatically unlock. When you go away, the car will automatically lock. Well, that's standard affair. However, because the lights glitter here and there now, you obviously notice when all of this happens. Now straight away, let's open the engine bay, because that is what is very different in this car, because it is a plug-in hybrid. It says M power here, red finishing, because 8 cylinders, obviously M badging right there, and obviously you got strut braces almost everywhere, because that's what BMW always does. There's insulation here, which is not needed because I want the car to be louder. Yeah, come on, the car can be a lot louder still, and this is where washer fluid goes in. Now let me actually shut this straight away. Okay, listen to the sound. Yeah, that was quite the bang. The BMW logo is here, which is unique because it's not there at the rear, and obviously it gets the illuminated kidney grille. Yeah, the grille is quite big. It's humongous. You can see the light here. It actually looks quite good at night. XM badging here, not the M badging, but XM badging right there. You get 6 parking sensors at the front, because obviously it has got self park. This is very much functional. Yeah, that air curtain is functional for better aerodynamic efficiency. The lights are split units, so these are the main beams, and this is the indicator which is functional at the moment. However, this is the DRL, and the best thing is that when you unlock the light at night now, it glows a bit. It also moves around quite a lot, so yeah, it does quite the light show, which is interesting. And the front parking camera is right here. There's no cleaning function. Now, if you notice one thing, this whole bumper section is quite aggressive with these huge air intakes, and this is the panel for ADAS. Obviously, it has got a lot of ADAS functions. In fact, those cameras are obviously for lane keepers, 2 cameras and 1 rain sensor as well. Now, this car is quite big. It is BMW's flagship car, and the reason it's called XM is it's the best of BMW SUV and the best of M, and the length is almost 5.1 meters. It's actually more than 5.1 meters. The wheelbase is more than 3.1 meters. It is a long car with a sloping roofline, so sort of a coupe-like thing, but the design is a bit polarizing. Whether you like it or not, let me know in the comment section below. Coming to the wheels of the car, you can get optional 23-inch wheels. These are 22 inches, 275/40 22s. In fact, it has the M badging right here. I don't know why they are so dirty, but 6 piston calipers there. Does not get air suspension, it uses steel springs, and this, okay, where is the M colors? Can I not see them? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, the brake caliper obviously has the M colors on it. XM written here, so this black and gold finish now can be opted for on the wheels, can be opted for around the window surrounds as well, for the grille as well. So a lot of stuff you can do. And this is a BMW which has the darkest windows. Yeah, the darkest windows of any BMW car. It's ringing right now because the key is in my pocket. There's a camera here because it obviously gets a 360-degree parking camera, but does not illuminate anything here from the mirror. Yeah, there is no illumination happening from the mirror at night on the floor, nothing like that. But does illuminate the door handle here, which is also a bit different. Meanwhile, this whole black putty is going from here to there. Sort of a very different treatment because it is finished in piano black, obviously. Fuel goes in right here, but you can't open it. You have to open it from the inside, which is a bit of a weird thing. And the rear tire is obviously bigger. 315/35/22s is the size of the rear tires. The tires are like massive. Look at those tires, like huge. 6 parking sensors at the rear as well. In fact, lights are here on the side. It says BMW right here, and obviously the lights are actually quite cool at night. The design isn't that impressive, but the lights do quite a show when you unlock the car and you lock the car. The way they move and all now is just amazing. It obviously says XM here, indicator functioning at the moment, and those are reflectors obviously. That is the rear fog light. 6 parking sensors, I already told you, because self park is there now. This is for the towing hook. Meanwhile, where is the exhaust? The exhaust is actually hidden right below. Oh, where is it? I can't really spot the exhaust. How have they managed to do the exhaust, which is a bit weird. Okay, oh yeah, they are the exhaust. They are quad exhaust. What am I doing? I'm so used to now BMW disappointing us with hidden exhaust, but these ones are vertically stacked quad exhaust, the real deal, obviously. So 2 on either side, which is quite nice and funky. Where is the BMW logo? There is no BMW logo. What? There is 2 of them. One here and one on the other side. Laser etched, because the M1, which is the only other BMW M model, specific M model, which doesn't have a regular standard car, it actually pays homage to it. So that's the reason it has these 2 logos. The M1 also had it, and yeah, this is the second M specific model, M only model rather, which has been ever made. Meanwhile, you get a shark fin antenna, which is a bit different. I think spray comes out of there for the rear wiper and washer. Straight away, let's open the boot. Before that, let me show you, there's a camera. There is no washing function here, and there opens the boot. The boot is 527 liters, but it's a bit useless because this floor does not open. There is no spare wheel here at all, which makes it not so useful for Indian conditions. 12-volt charging socket right here. This is for the fuse box. Open it and close it, quite easy to do that. Band ho ja bhai. There it is. Yeah, so boot is a bit useless because there is no spare wheel. So obviously you're going to put a spare wheel on top, then you can't really use the boot. And here you get a parcel shelf. Lot of speakers, yeah, speakers are almost everywhere, which is quite cool, huh? Where is the warning triangle? Where is all of that? No, but you will get green color number plate as an option. Just kidding. This is the parcel shelf. Light placement here on the top and power tailgate. Obviously, na, at this price you would expect all that. So there it shuts and you get a high mounted stop lamp too. Let's get inside because the rear seat is actually very impressive, something you wouldn't expect. Look at that, they call it the M Lounge, and trust me, it is a lot spacious, hugely spacious. So I can easily stretch it right here because there's a lot of legroom. Under thigh support isn't bad at all. Headroom is also good enough, and there's a provision to put a tablet USB-C charging socket here. Aircraft style, obviously. Quilting has been done. Humongous door pockets. Look at that. That's a door pocket or that's a cupboard. That's like massively big. AC vent here. AC vent in the center as well. And then you have got AC controls here because it has a 4-zone climate control air conditioning system. Some storage space here too. USB-C charging socket. And I think this is a cigarette lighter. Meanwhile, the floor is almost flat, which is quite impressive. The space here is just unbelievable. And like the iX, this stretches out on the side as well, which means that person sitting at the rear is absolutely comfortable. No adjustable headrest. Center passenger gets an adjustable headrest, but the side passengers do not get it. Meanwhile, you get a center armrest with twin cup holders, and then obviously it is a 20, 40, 40 reclines. I can recline the seat like this. Yeah, there it goes, which increases the boot carrying capacity quite a lot. But if your priority is to use an XM like a Bolero, don't do that. Don't buy this car. Anyways, there are a lot of reasons not to buy this car. I will tell you in a bit. And you get these M colors on the seat belts too. Lot of metal finish, vintage leather, amazing finish in the interior front. Like I love the seat, like the quilting and all, just amazing. And the dashboard obviously is very similar to other BMW models. But where is the sunroof? There is no sunroof in this car. Okay, light placement here, but there is no sunroof. This is known as some headliner, which has ambient lighting here, which is obviously cool, but it has this prism effect. So a lot of cuts and all, giving it a very different sort of appeal, but no sunroof in this car. Now it obviously changes color when you change the ambient lighting, and when you turn on the car, it splashes all the M colors from front to back. It's just amazing the effect they have managed to do here. Hook right there, no height adjustable seat belts at the front, handle to hold on to. There's another hook. Speakers, so many speakers. These are 3D speakers in the roof, so it has got 20 freaking speakers. Yeah, Bowers and Wilkins. 3D diamond surround sound system with 1475 watt output. It's just amazing, the audio quality. This is a tweeter, obviously. They should have given it sunshades at the rear. What are you doing, BMW? What is this? Anyways, let's get outside. And outside, why am I eating my words? And I'll show you, soft close door function is obviously here, which is expected and normal at this price point. You have these M mirrors, which you see in M cars, which look quite cool, very unique as well. And this is where the charging actually happens. I can't open it right now because obviously the car is turned on, but it only does AC charging. And wipers are very nicely done, yeah. Obviously, they have this thing to write something, but there's nothing written there. Usually, you know, the chassis number is written right there. So what do you think about the design of the XM? I think it looks horrendous because it's quite weird, it's quite bulky, and I even don't understand what BMW is trying to do by making some really weird cars. And this car has no, I mean, it makes no sense at all. Now, it has got multiple way adjust for the seat, and it has got memory seat. So if you notice, under thigh support is never an issue. The steering is moving, the seat is moving, everything is moving at the moment because obviously I have saved that setting, and there comes out the under thigh support. The steering wheel goes inside. So yeah, the seat can be adjusted in a multitude of ways, and it is obviously all electric adjustment for all these things. So memory seats here, you can save up to 2 people's settings. In fact, when you unlock the car now, the ambient light will splash green, and when you lock it, the ambient light will splash red, which again is quite cool. There is M badging here, which actually eliminates, and you get a proper dead pedal as well. That is to open the hood of the car. Some storage space here, light controls, huge door pockets. This is to actually open the fuel lid, which only happens from the inside, which is quite weird. You can or should be able to open it from outside only if the car is unlocked. Meanwhile, metal switches, very nicely done. This is to open the boot of the vehicle. These are the controls for the adjustment of that particular seat. So I've pressed this button, then I can move that seat ahead and behind. So that is the worst seat to be in the car because anyone and everyone can adjust it. Meanwhile, this is illuminated right now. If I press this light button right here, yeah, the illumination shuts. So it also has that illumination on the headrest, but these are fixed headrests. No, they don't seem to be fixed. They actually move. I think they move. I'm not able to understand because obviously they will move electrically. So a bit difficult to operate it. I'm trying to operate the driver's seat. I ended up operating that other seat. But yeah, seats are absolutely awesome. Just amazing. What is this button? This is to turn on the massage function. Tweeter placement here, some light also comes from there. Says Bowers and Wilkins right there. Let's step inside because why am I sitting on the top? Yeah, the seat is a bit raised up right now. The glove box is actually lockable. It has beautiful lining on the inside. It is decent sized. M badging here on the leftmost AC vent and vintage leather, which is quite cool. Let's turn off the indicators. Let's get into the air conditioning menu and turn that off as well. I miss a sunroof. I definitely miss a sunroof, and you obviously get a mirror along with a light. Same is the case here as well. You get a mirror along with a light. You get a handle to hold on to on the driver's side. Speakers are placed almost everywhere. Wherever you look, there's a speaker. 6 airbags, obviously, and there is some storage space here. There's a light. There's a USB-C charging socket, and here you get a wireless charging pad and a USB-A charging socket, 12-volt charging socket, and twin cup holders, which can both be heated and cooled too, which is quite cool. Now, then they have this sort of carbon fiber finishing, so they have used quite a lot of different materials. Okay, gesture control is obviously there, using which I can increase or decrease the volume as well. Now you get this M gear lever, which is nice to hold. This is to increase or decrease the speed of the shifts and at what RPM it should shift. So that is also given, which is something which is there in a lot of M cars. iDrive controller, which is good because you have got some physical controls here. Meanwhile, it's using the iDrive 8 operating system, and this is for downhill assist. This is for the electric parking brake auto hold function. This is for the active exhaust. This is for hybrid mode. This is for M mode, and this is for the setup. Meanwhile, red colored start stop button. These are the buttons for the camera, parking sensors, traction control, and all that. So let me turn on the camera right away. Camera quality is obviously phenomenal. Why is the air conditioning on? I wanted to turn it off. Okay, left side one is on because 4-zone climate control air conditioning. Let me show you the air conditioning menu right away. So this is for seat heating. This is for seat ventilation. I know it looks very confusing, the menu, because there's so many things right here. All right, now the good thing is you can operate stuff from here, which is quite nice, and I love the stitching. Yeah, it's so premium, it's unbelievable the kind of quality in this cabin, and you've got ambient lighting, which is also very cool. Now obviously it has to be. So the thing is, it gets an auto dimming inside rear view mirror, and this is a 14.9-inch screen, which is slick, easy to use, but there's too many things happening right here. So this is obviously for the fan speed, and this is to decide where you want the airflow to happen. And I'm just going to get out of this menu because it's easy to browse, very slick, but the sub menus can get a bit confusing. I like this particular menu because it shows me how the X-Drive system is working. It's a fingerprint magnet. You can see the fingerprints right now. Let's get into this menu. You've got Apple CarPlay, you've got Android Auto connectivity, both of which are obviously wireless in this car. Expectedly, navigation works beautifully well because the quality of the maps is just amazing, but it's very familiar BMW territory, nothing new here. Let's get into seat comfort. So here I can adjust a lot of things. In fact, I just press this button here and there it opens the massage function. There are so many massages. Look at that, like crazy amount of massages, and there are 3 levels for the massage as well. I somehow not able to feel this ventilation from the seat, so it's not very effective, the seat ventilation in this car. You've got the route preview and all those things are there. Obviously, it's very similar to what you've seen in a lot of other BMW cars. You get into the charging menu and you can see a lot of that as well. When you turn on the car now, it actually gets the XM here and spins it, which is very cool. And when you turn it off also, the effects are very nice. In fact, the effects here are better because it splashes the M logo quite nicely. Okay, right now, the front and rear parking sensors have been activated. And this screen is also a dust magnet. I don't know why. You've got voice command, you've got personal assistant, you've got almost everything which you've seen in other BMW cars. You can also record your drive and all. The app is a little slow. Obviously, it's got connected car thing. Okay, yeah, just accept. I don't know what I'm talking, but I just want to accept everything. And there I can start recording the vehicle. Record. Where is it recording from? I think from this particular camera on the top, but I don't know. I don't care. Let's again get into the menu because first things first, I will get into reverse. You have to slot it like this to get into reverse. That is the reverse parking camera. It's got multiple views obviously, and the camera moves. Yeah, it moves when it detects an obstacle, so it's very amazing in that regard. It's got reversing assistant. It has got self park too, which works really nice, and it's able to manage to park the car. There's a car wash view here so that you know exactly where you're parking the car wash, because car washes are like small. And there's this amazing 360-degree parking camera which shows a very nice color of this car. It's not the color which we are having right now, so we're just going to change that. And amazing quality. The camera is super duper impressive right here. So you're just going to get into parking. I love the gear lever. I'm happy they have not switched to that stupid gear selector which they have done in their recent cars. Now these are paddle shifters which are finished in carbon only at the front. At the rear now they seem to be like plasticky, and the steering wheel feels nice to hold. It's quite chunky, has the M badging, has the M colors as well. These are the controls to operate this particular screen. These are the controls for cruise control, M1 and M2 buttons which can be pre-programmed. Obviously you get automatic wipers, you get automatic headlights too. And this 12.3-inch screen is very nice because I can adjust it. I can see a lot of stuff there. I can see the route preview, I can change it to the map view, the setup, yeah, tire pressure monitor, what is the temperature, drivetrain, there's so much information, including a G meter. You can get into the audio settings, you can get into a lot of stuff. In fact, it also has a heads-up display, which disappointingly though doesn't seem to have a sports view. Yes, there's no sports view for the same. There's a reduced view, there is, yeah, that's about it, standard view, and there's a directional view too. That's about it. Yeah, that is a bit not exciting, if I can put it that way. So that's about it, guys. The interior is very familiar to other BMW cars. Let's start driving right away. Alright, let's turn off the air conditioning. We get into drive mode. I press M2 button, confirm it, and now we are in M2 mode, which is already pre-programmed, so the engine kicks in. Obviously, turn off the hazards, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, and launch control active, it says. And oh my goodness, acceleration is actually quite impressive here. So there's a lot to talk about this car because it's a bit confusing. First and foremost, it obviously has the 4.4 liter S68 V8 engine, which powers a lot of M cars, and it also powers Land Rover cars because the engine is just phenomenal here. We're going to come out of this menu because it has this sort of a mode right here, which looks quite funky, adaptive mode and content. It shows me exactly how this movement is happening, but I'm just going to change that as well. You're going to change it here. So it's showing here, he's charging the battery right now. Boss, what are you doing? They're not supposed to charge the battery, supposed to just go bonkers. I'm not able to get that power and torque meter, but there's this X view here because obviously this car is more about off-road ability because this is an SUV at the end of the day. I'm going to change this to the G-force meter right here. It's easy to use. Yeah, it's quite easy to use. So there's obviously a sport display which tells me how much power and torque I'm using in real time, but you're just going to put the G-force meter around the corners. Yeah, it does feel its weight, but handling is actually quite good. So first let's talk about this engine. This 4.4 liter V8 engine is absolutely phenomenal, but there's a bit of a confusion happening here. The confusion is happening purely because this car is a plug-in hybrid. So the V8 engine has been detuned to produce 489 horsepower and 650 Newton meters of torque. Meanwhile, the electric motor is producing around 197 horsepower and 280 Newton meters of torque. The combined output happens to be approximately 653 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque, which means that this car goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.3 seconds, which is decently quick. Yeah, considering the weight of this car, which is 2785 kgs, it is 400 kgs heavier than the X5M purely because this car has an electric motor and battery. The electric motor size is 29.5 kilowatt hour, which net is 25.7 kilowatt hour, and the result is that, okay, manual mode, you can see this giving me the shift light right here. The result is that there is a lot of weight, but the electric motor is able to contain that turbo lag. So it feels instant off the line and feels very quick there as well. It's an 8-speed gearbox. The motor is on the gearbox. It's an 8-speed torque converter automatic gearbox from ZF with paddle shifters, so you can manually take control of things. It feels a bit jerky, so they've not been able to smoothly manage from ICE to EV, or rather from the internal combustion engine to electric power in this car, because it feels very abrupt and very jerky as well. And then around the corners I can feel quite a lot of roll as well because of the weight of this car. Steering is good, it gets rear wheel steering I believe, and it is just atrocious in terms of ride quality because the car is moving all the time. It is moving quite a lot. It's very uncomfortable a car. So 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, 4.3 seconds, half a second slower when compared to the X5M, which takes 3.8 seconds. Meanwhile, it has an electric only range of between 82 to 88 kilometers, which is quite good. So that's the reason why this car has a claimed fuel efficiency of 61.9 kilometers per liter, because the electric motor has a decent range, right? And then it's a plug-in hybrid, which means that you can plug it. Oh god, gesture control kicking in. When you plug it in, it can charge within 3 hours from 0 to 100% using a 7.4 kilowatt AC charger. And it has a battery heat management, so it's having predictive heat management, wherein it can predict what will be the temperature and accordingly cool or heat the battery as well. So a lot of tech in this car for sure. Engine is actually quite vocal, but when you're driving it on electric only mode, it can do a top speed of 150 kilometers per hour. Otherwise, the top speed of this car is 250 kilometers per hour. And with the M drivers package, it can go all the way to 290 kilometers per hour. So it has this fake electric sound which comes from the speakers when you're driving it in electric mode, and it turns on in electric mode only. All the time it will turn on in electric mode only, unless and until you get into the programmed modes, which I have programmed right now to give me absolute bonkers power. So there's a hybrid mode and there's e-control, which actually prioritize the internal combustion engine to make sure the battery is always juiced up. So this is a self-charging hybrid. Oh god, that is the BMW iX. It looks so freaking weird. Yeah, the car is moving quite a lot. Yeah, ride is so bad now. Even on the smoothest of roads, the ride is just horrendous. Yeah, this is not a good riding car at all. But then this is an M car, so that's something which is very much expected, obviously. So like I was telling you, this car has good amount of performance, and because of the electric motor, obviously turbo lag is very well contained. It's fast as well, it's efficient too, but it's just unnecessarily heavy. 400 kgs more when compared to the X5M, making it very ponderous to drive and also slower. However, you can get an XM as fast as the X5M. How is that possible? Well, they have something known as label red or red label, whatever. I don't know if I'm talking about the T or the variant. That one actually is having more power, 750 horsepower and 1000 Newton meters of torque. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.8 seconds. Similar top speed, because you can obviously boost the top speed with the M drivers package to 290 kilometers per hour. The horn is actually nice. Yeah, it's quite a nice horn in this car, and directional changes are good. It actually feels glued to the road. Rear wheel steering obviously helps. M Sport differential at the rear also helps, and the kind of speeds you can do around the corners, absolutely unreal. The way this, little bit of tire noise as well, but absolutely unreal the way this guy is able to pull so fast and has so much grip as well. Only thing is the steering is a bit weird, and the transition between electric and internal combustion engine is also very badly done. So you can feel the abrupt kicking in of the internal combustion engine at times, and that is something which is a bit bothersome, because the car becomes very jerky to drive, especially at low speeds. It's super duper jerky to drive, and they have also piped in the sound from the exhaust through the speaker. So a lot of fake stuff happening here, but it's fine. It's not something which I would complain about, because the car does sound nice. It feels very aggressive in the way the power delivery happens, and that's something which can get a bit of a bother, especially in city driving at low speed. You don't want it to jerk ahead and back, but it does that. Obviously, this is the X drive system, 4-wheel drive system, which channels power accordingly depending on what the road conditions are. It's not going to go off-road because obviously ground clearance isn't that great. It's running on steel springs. There is no air suspension here, but it has got adaptive dampers, and the damping is on the stiffer side even in the comfort setting, which is kind of weird, because this car just feels super uncomfortable to drive and not something you can really drive for long, because you just feel kind of nauseous if you drive it for long. If you're going to take a quick U-turn, rear wheel steering obviously helping here, and the steering is actually light, and onto the throttle, oh my god, the steering is actually very quick. It does not hesitate at all. Such a quick steering wheel. Brakes are good. Brakes are actually quite good, but you know, when I brake very aggressively, last point is not that soothing. Let's increase the speed of the shifts right here, and let's come out of this menu. First and foremost, air conditioning. Again, I have to keep turning it off because it's super duper hot here. So let's see if I get some drivetrain information. Why is it not opening the menu? Okay, we'll just open this one. Anyways, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights off, and launch control active. Became very jerky, and off we go. Well, that is fast. Indeed, it is fast. Now, it has got active stabilizers. It's got a 48 volt active anti-roll bars, which obviously result in better control over the suspension, and it has got an M Sport rear differential, which is able to alter the power and torque delivery to the independent rear wheels so that it's able to ensure torque vectoring also happens beautifully well. If I slot it like this now I'm in manual mode, and in manual mode obviously it holds on to a gear. Gear shifts are really fast. Okay, check this out. Okay, we are going to come into second, and yeah, 7,200 RPM red line, because this 489 horsepower from the internal combustion engine is actually coming in between 5,200, 5,400 to 7,200 RPM. Yeah, that's the way the peak comes in, and that's the reason the top end is also very nicer. The only thing I hate about this car is the ride quality, which is uncomfortable in every possible setting. It has got 50-50 weight distribution obviously, and this car is made in the United States of America, because something as obnoxious looking as this will only sell in the United States of America. Guys, come on, that's common sense. Now okay, let's do the wiper test. Lot of spray. I think it's going to spray it all over the roof as well, but that's something which is expected, because yeah, most of the wipers are over aggressive with the amount of spray which is churned down from there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the setup to show you what all are the settings. You can change the drivetrain between Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. You can change the energy recovery between minimum and maximum, because this one obviously has regenerative braking and tries to put a lot of energy back into the battery so that you really don't have to charge all the time. I think it shows me a range of around 75 kilometers here. Yeah, right here, in terms of what the battery can do or the electric motor can do in terms of the range, which is not much honestly, but then it's okay because it gives that assist as well. And then I can change the chassis between Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus. Right now we are in Sport Plus and it's not comfortable at all. Steering between Comfort and Sport. Even the brake has a setting for Comfort and Sport, and the X-Drive system you can change between 4-wheel drive Sport and 4-wheel drive Sand. You can turn off DSC, and you can also get into MDM, which is M dynamic mode, which makes it a little bit more playful. However, if you turn off DSC, trust me on this, if you go hard and aggressive around the corner, this car will oversteer way too much and go out of control, because the weight is so much now you might not be able to balance it. Yeah, it happened to me. Thankfully I was able to correct it and get back into line, but trust me, this car kind of feels like a handful around the corners if you go way too aggressive. Otherwise, as far as super SUVs go, this car does have a lot of grip and a lot of enthusiasm to go through corners like really very fast. Let's get out of this menu. Now with the M2 programming which I've done, obviously it is in bonkers mode in terms of everything right now. Can I turn on the camera system? Does it work at those speeds? No. It's available below 14 kilometers per hour only. So this is the most expensive BMW you can buy in India. 2.6 crores is the ex-showroom price, which goes to 3.08 crores on road Mumbai, which is a lot. In fact, the insurance cost for the first is 10.5 lakh rupees. Yeah, this is the most expensive BMW car right now, and it's unnecessarily expensive. I don't know why it's so expensive. I think the registration cost is around 30-35 lakh rupees, which again is quite a lot because this is obviously a CBU. So a lot of taxes being given to be paid for this car in like it's very expensive a car, period, end of story, which makes little sense because it doesn't feel that impressive. It's not a luxury car because the ride is shit. It's not even a fast car because it doesn't have that good performance either. You can't take it to the drag strip because it doesn't accelerate as fast. It's actually slower than other BMW models. So why is it the flagship M model? Because XM means the flagship from X, which is the BMW SUVs, and the flagship from Motorsport, which is the BMW M division. And there is the forward collision warning. Obviously it has got ADAS functions as well, which work fantastically well, not intrusive. It's even showing it to me in the heads-up display. The heads-up display is also very nice in terms of quality. So yeah, BMW is making a fantastic car here, but the whole idea of this car just doesn't make sense to me at all. It's not even a great luxury car because of the bad ride. It's a confused car. I don't know what it's trying to do. It's trying to do a lot of things and failing at all of them miserably, because it's not even a sports car because of the weight of the battery. It doesn't really handle that well. It's ponderous. It's not efficient either, because those 61.9 kilometers per liter mileage figures can only be achieved in your dreams. So it's not an eco-friendly car either. It's a car which BMW thought they can make and sell in good numbers purely because they thought that anything with the BMW badge will sell, and they were wrong because the XM is not selling, and BMW is actually blaming. They announced the red label at the same time as this car, and they're like, people are waiting for that particular car because that one has more power and torque, but only 500 units are available, and I think BMW is going to find it tough to sell all those units because the XM doesn't make much sense at all. And I'll tell you why. They took the 4.4 liter V8 engine, they detuned that engine, and then they put a electric motor here to come to a horsepower output which is not much more than 635 horsepower, which is usually the output from the V8 engine alone without any electric assist. So why are people paying so much more just because it has a battery in it? makes no sense at all. Just give us a pure petrol only version which has no electric motors and has the 635 horsepower which this V8 engine is usually making. Why detune it? There's no logic here. They have actually also gotten an XM50E which is basically using a 6-cylinder engine. Again, that is a plug-in hybrid too. So hopefully there'll be a petrol only version which will be lighter, faster, cheaper and just so much better, because handling would also improve there. This XM is the first electrified M performance drive, and honestly, battery detected, car rejected is how I roll. Anyways, we're going to launch it once again, and here we go. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, hazard lights turned on, off and on control, and my goodness, it feels so jerky. Yeah, acceleration is brisk enough. I will not deny that this is a fast car, but it's not furious. And in a world where a lot of electric cars are producing obnoxious output numbers, this XM falls really very short. And the ride quality is like very, I keep saying about the ride quality because I can feel even on the smoothest of surfaces, this car is giving me a very tough time. That said, the springs are actually having short travel, and that is one of the problems. And then obviously they've stiffened up everything here just for this sportier drive, which obviously is not really working in its favor. In fact, BMW wants to play the demand supply game here, because when you try to buy this car and go to their website, it says request an invitation. You just can't go and buy it. You have to request an invitation, and then BMW will see if you are worthy to buy this car, which is kind of weird because nobody's going to buy this car at the end of the day, so they don't have to even worry about checking who has requested an invitation. That said, BMW actually had a gentleman's agreement with Citroën, because Citroën holds the rights to the XM name. They have the Citroën XM, which is a sedan, which was their flagship sedan back in the 90s, which also competed with the BMW 5 Series. And let me quickly get into the M-Bird mode, which is the mode I have kept for this car, which is very easy going. Now you can notice that it can go into electric only power very quickly. Yeah, now it's already shifted to 7th gear right here, now in 8th already, because this is the mode wherein I have programmed it for efficiency and easy going, because I really don't want the car to deplete the battery. I have no provision to charge this car because the charging cable is not in the car, and where do you keep the charging cable? There is no particular space for it, which means that it has to be in the boot, and when it's in the boot, it's going to bounce right, left and center as well. Okay, let's get onto the throttle in M1 mode. It's still responsive enough. Obviously, it doesn't give you the full beans, but still it's fast enough. Let's quickly shift to M2 mode here. Obviously, I have put MDM, which is M Dynamic mode, which is traction control sport on. It's saying keep in lane, lol. So I'm just going to get into the M2 mode so that we can launch it one last time. Hazard lights on, and off we go. On upshift now, it gives you this brap and it gives you that pushback as well. So guys, this is my video of the BMW XM. I hope BMW makes better cars, because they make one of the best cars in the world, yet with the XM they've faltered, and they've faltered big time. In fact, Top Gear called it the worst car of 2023 because this car is not even a family car, because it's not practical enough. It just doesn't fit in anywhere at all. Hopefully BMW comes up with a nice super SUV. Till that time, I'm happy with the BMW X5M. And now since we have hit a traffic jam, it's time to end. Bye-bye.